Hi everybody, welcome back. It's May 11th, 2023, and we're back on Mars again looking at another dune. And we've looked at a number of dunes in the past, and these dunes are really the most incredible feature on Mars, if you ask me. And there's a lot of really incredible features on Mars. Now this dune here is a dune in the making. It's a little hard to tell, though, because of this wonderful obfuscation that I talk about. And it's made to confuse, bewilder, to make obscure or unclear, or to make something unclear, obscure, or difficult to understand. I like to say it's made to be unseeable. You just can't see what's really there, for the most part. So I did my usual calisthenics, with these pictures here to try and bring it out and give us something to look at. It's really quite beautiful the way they've colored it, but it doesn't look anything at all like it should look, actually. And the Martians do their own coloring on their dunes, and they don't need any help from us. And this is what you're looking at when you look close. I mean, it doesn't really get any worse than this, does it? I mean, it's amazing that we could get anything at all out of that. As I said, I've made a number of pictures on dunes, videos, and a while back I did this one here called NASA's Dune Problem. And they do have a problem because every single picture nearly has pictures of what they're calling dunes in it. And I'm here to tell you, man, there isn't enough sand on that entire planet to make the number of dunes that are here. And let me tell you, there are plenty of them. Some of the dunes are absolutely stunningly beautiful, really incredible creations. Others are just what I call worm dunes. They're just they kind of look really not so much like a worm, but maybe more like a leech. And you find them by the hundreds or the thousands together. And then there are these beautiful sculpted dunes, and those are by far the most beautiful and the most intricate as far as what we can see, from standing back looking at them. And they are the most, I think I told you, they're the most incredible dunes, the most incredible thing on Mars. It's one thing to have a huge city. It's something completely different to make it in the shape of these dunes. And these are some dunes that are in progress. They're easy to spot. They look like fish bones, some of them. Here's a sculpted dune that's in the process of being completed, and another one of those fishbone dunes that they're working on. But they're really easy to find. You can spot them right away. So here's the picture that we're talking about. This is, of course, a NASA picture, and I think this is a dune in the making. All this crazy shapes down here in the bottom half of this picture just seems too foreign. It almost looks kind of organic or something, like you're looking at tripe or something like that. But no, it's a pattern that we've seen many times before, and you don't always see these kinds of patterns just in the dunes. These white outlines that kind of seem to meander, and then the things that go in between those are the interesting parts. But these white lines that sort of meander do seem kind of random the way they go. But as you'll see coming up, as random as they may seem, they're not. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of the things that we've seen here in this picture are very similar to some of the construction we've seen on the moon. Now, how about that picture right there, folks? Is not that incredible? For some reason, showing it darker, I think, eliminates a lot of the noise, the light color noise. Now, all of these areas that are sort of white and kind of smooth looking, in this picture right here, almost kind of, sort of bulbous looking in places, this is all area that has no data. The picture has been obfuscated enough where it removed the data in much of the picture. So I'm just taking advantage of what data is left over, and trying to share that with you. These lines here are, I think this is what is going to eventually be covered over with tall skyscrapers. And right here in the center of the screen is some very large, tall buildings clustered together. And if you look closely at the base of these large clustered buildings are smaller ones that look like skyscrapers also. So if those small ones are skyscrapers, then those big ones must be really big, and I think they are. It looks like, kind of almost looks like there's nothing else around in this picture that is like those tall clustered buildings. It looks a lot like, kind of a palace or a city perched on the edge of something here. Perched on the edge of the future, right? Of millennium. This stuff is not going to go away. I don't think they build for temporary. This stuff is here from now on. Very, very, very intricate. And I have to mention it just because there could be somebody new watching this video. And the big questions that always come up over and over and over are the infrastructure questions. I'm not going to get into it. Bottom line is, these people are, and this civilization is many millions of years old, folks. Many millions of years old. Here on Earth, modern society started, 500 years ago? I mean, not even that. I mean, really, if you want to take into consideration the discovery of electricity and so on, that's only been a couple hundred years, not even that. We're so far behind these folks that it's a joke, is what it is. But everyone's got to start somewhere, right? So I guess we're starting from scratch, and we certainly didn't get any help from these guys, or we would be things would look a lot different here on Earth. And in this picture, in this particular dune that we're looking at, again, the population density is beyond your wildest imagination. It's really difficult to take in how many structures are here and how many people have to be living here. Now, these rows of white structures, we're looking pretty much straight on, and it's hard to tell what they are because they're so tightly packed together. But if you look towards the top, where you get a little separation between the buildings, you can see that these are rows of buildings. But when they're up close and looking direct, all you see is a black stripe along the top of it, and one after another after another. Well, these are those buildings, but they're closely packed. And again, if you look up towards the top left in this picture, you can really see them clearly. Once you stand back and you can see them a little bit as they get the separation. Right in the middle, there's 3 or 4 structures that looks like they're in the process, kind of the stair-step design going from right to left. Sort of unusual considering that all these buildings are straight up and down, and we're facing straight into them. So I don't know what that was all about. Pretty soon, I know I've been saying this for years, I'm going to start doing the screen pointer. So I'll be able to to actually point out with the mouse what it is I'm trying to get you to see. And you can see in some of these pictures how these rows of buildings go off into the distance. These are all very small, so it's hard to see, but these lines that go off into the distance are rows of buildings like these. And there's, got to be millions of them in every single one of these dunes. Can you imagine millions of skyscrapers in one city? Okay, plural, millions. And we don't even know for sure what's underneath it. Although I think what we saw in the beginning of this video with all of the very strange sort of organic looking stuff, I think that's really what's underneath in the center of these dunes, and they get finished off with the skyscrapers on the top that like to run off in very long rows that go off and shape the sculpting of these dunes. Just a quick picture of some of these big buildings real close up. Again, you do get some separation on them, and you're able to see that they are individual buildings, not just blobs, I guess. Again, you see the skyscrapers, those little ones are going up back into the distance. And the closer they come to us, to your face, the larger the closer they are, the larger they are. The farther back they go, the smaller they get. Yeah, so I think all this white area here is going to be covered over. Maybe not. I mean, these are, I'm still trying to figure this out. Some are easier than others. These are rows of buildings already that go back into the distance. So maybe we're just seeing this, maybe this is the way it's going to stay. Unfortunately, we can't see very much what's in between these rows thanks to the obfuscation. Thanks to NASA. Thanks, guys. I sure do miss having color pictures, though. Everything is black and white. Even when it starts out in color, I have to make it, send it over to the grayscale so we can eliminate some of that noise that we get from color sometimes. And here again, we can see how these buildings stretch out and start going off into the distance. And down front, that I'm kind of famous for always looking in the background, and you always see so much towards the back and also towards the very front as well. It's always a place to keep your eyes peeled for. And again, we've seen these shapes, these types of, I've for years now been calling them a stair-step design. It's nothing more than starting out with a low building, put a slightly taller building next to it, and a taller one next to that, and a taller one next to that, and you get these stair-step shapes. And we've seen this in other areas on Mars. In particular, I'm thinking about the mud flows. And these stair steps were areas that were in the process of being filled in. I don't know if that's true in this case, but that's what it's been previously. Now, you may have noticed that I had a video up here recently, this video, which I deleted. For some reason, when I put the video up, there was no audio on it. I don't know where the audio went. I should say the narration. I had the theme song in the very beginning, but no narration. So I took it down, and I took it back to the video maker, and I don't know what I did, but I deleted about 1/3 of the video, and I had to rebuild it. So I thought I would go ahead and add in some new pictures and make a few changes, and taking a stab at narrating it again. So hopefully it'll all stay together, and I won't have to take it down again. But I'll tell you what, folks, if you ever wanted to see an alien city, this is it, right? And I gotta ask you, how many alien cities have you seen? Probably not too many. Have you seen them any place other than on this channel? Techno thanks Physical Astronomy. He had some really great civilization pictures. His were the best, I think, in a lot of ways. He just wasn't as lucky as I've been in finding these places and finding these pictures. That's the next question. First ones are what's up with the infrastructure? That's the big question. And then my next question is, how is it that I've gotten so lucky to be able to find these pictures at will? I have no shortage of anything to show you guys. It's not like I have to spend the next 2 weeks trying to find something for you. So why haven't the other ones done this? I don't understand. I just really don't understand. Not that it comes from lack of trying. I've tried hard to get a hold of these guys. You know who I'm talking about. All the usual guys here on YouTube who do great work, but just haven't found the right pictures. I remember Jimmy doing a video of a place where there were 3 pictures in the archive. These were gigapans, actually. 3 pictures of the same place. Unfortunately, he had the wrong place, the wrong picture. He had a 1 in 3 chance of finding the right one, and he unfortunately didn't get it. Beautiful structures by the millions. Many, many millions of buildings. And there you go again. You've got building materials. Where in the hell did it all come from? I mean, it just can't answer it. But really, the best answer is really the most simple. These guys are many millions of years ahead of us. They've got it all figured out. They don't have to worry about infrastructure. They don't have to worry about building materials. Whatever they do, they've got it figured out. And we're just not there yet at all. Not even close. Give us a couple million years, right? If our planet's still here. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.